I think if a flat earther really wanted to prove that the earth was flat, they should just walk into space. Just do a bunch of drugs and walk into space. That would prove the theory. That would prove the earth is flat. Ugh. So anyways, I'm a mad scientist. In addition to being a comedian, I'm a mad scientist because I read a lot of memes on Facebook and I think they're scientific journals. That makes me a mad scientist. But I have ideas too, which is horrible because I have ideas. And you know, nothing gets in the way of having ideas if you're stupid. That's very important to know. Like, but as a mad scientist, I'm just taking the laziest path to mad science. The laziest path. Yeah, I'm gonna make an effective athlete's foot medication. I'm gonna make an effective athlete's foot medication with mad science. And it's going to be easy. All I'm going to do is put nicotine in the athlete's foot medication. That way people can just get addicted to having clean feet. That's my thing. That's my $1 million idea. And I'm just going to have it like printed on the tube of like athlete's foot medication. You know, say get addicted to having clean feet, $9.99. That'll be the selling point, the price. Huh. Oh man. So I hate to be controversial, but I think there would be less school shootings if more kids were allowed to smoke cigarettes. That's not a really controversial idea because I think if kids were allowed to smoke cigarettes, they could just be cool again. They would just be cool and they wouldn't have to bring guns to school. That's what I think. Oh man. So anyways, I'm so paranoid. I make aliens wrap their heads in tinfoil to keep me from taking over. Oh man. I smoke weed. I don't know if you could tell. I smoke weed because short-term memory loss keeps me from remembering constant failure. Thank you. Because constant failure keeps me awake at night. Oh man. So how many popes does it take to screw in an altar boy? I just have to get that out of the way. How many popes does it take to screw in an altar boy? Now how should I know? I've repressed memories. Thank you. I just want to eliminate that joke from like my library. Ugh, man. What else is going on? Oh, I heard William Shatner's latest album. You know William Shatner has like albums? Like he's Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk from Star Trek has albums. He actually has 14 albums. And I've heard all of them, even the bad ones. But I heard the latest album and I was not impressed. It was just William Shatner just keep coming up with numbers. That was his album. Yeah, and the latest song was this. It was a cover. It was a cover of 8675309 by Tommy Two-Tone. Yeah, it was William Shatner's version of that song, but it wasn't very melodic. I'm just letting you know. He just kept repeating the number until you got it. He just kept repeating the number until you got the song. He just kept saying 86. 75,399. 8,675,039. 8,675, 399. You get it. Ugh, God. So I've had my problem with cocaine because I'm a comedian. I've had trouble with coke. Yeah, once it got so bad I had to go to an NA meeting because I was so strung out. I had to wave my paycheck around almost 3 minutes before I got any coke. Thank you. Oh man. So anyways, I'm the spokesperson for extreme sobriety. I am. It's my job. It's my job. That's what I do. I actually do pep rallies in high schools where I'm an actor that stands in front of kids and tells people that drugs are bad. That's what I do. I go to pep rallies at high schools and I wear an orange jumpsuit, and the vice principal says a few words, and then he brings me up on stage and I tell all these kids how I got raped in prison because I was on drugs. That's what I do. I get paid for it. It's a pretty good gig. It's like a traveling gig. You know, what happens is I tell all these kids that nitrous oxide kills brain cells. Yeah, I tell them it kills all the brain cells that get in the way of your job at a gas station. I tell these kids that bath salts get a bad rap. Like, bath salts are terrible. But if you're going to smoke bath salts, I tell them to, like, roofie their own drink. I tell them to roofie their own drink because if they get that urge to chop off their dick and jump out a window, I don't want them to be so impulsive. I want them to tamp down that energy. Yeah. So I also tell these kids, hey, you know, they say the early bird gets the worm, right? The early bird, you know this because you're, you know, ambitious. But the meth bird stays awake. So, considering the two options, who really gets the worm? And somebody says the wrong answer. They always say meth bird. I say, you're wrong. It's still the early bird. Because the meth bird is never hungry. That's right. The meth bird is never hungry. Nobody knows where he gets his worms. We just think he keeps his worms in a storage locker. And we think he steals his worms from other worms. And that's why the meth bird is always so thin. You get that, kids? Oh, God. So I think marijuana is a gateway drug. Yeah, it's a gateway for realizing your boss is an asshole. You're going to be your own boss someday. So I tell these kids, I tell them to be ambitious. Man. So I've done acid. I mean, you could tell. I've done acid over 250 times. I've done acid over 250 times this year. And acid doesn't affect me. Acid does not affect me. Acid makes me incredibly sober. It's the truth. Like, I wake up every morning and I think, oh, you know, the sky's exploding. How should I dress? You know, covered in ants or covered in spiders. Like, what do I choose? Oh, man.